Good morning, candidates. In a recent Oriental Insurance Administrative Officers interview, they asked a question on, say, what are the recent banking law amendments? So I searched for that and I got this. So let me read out to you. This Banking Laws Amendment Bill 2024 was introduced in Lok Sabha on August 9th, then passed in Lok Sabha on December 3rd. The it is uh, here the changes that have been brought about are in the definition of a fortnight for cash reserves. The bill changes the definition of fortnight for the period from first day to the 15th day of each month or 16th day to the last day of each month. It also changes this definition under the Banking Regulation Act, where non-scheduled banks are required to maintain cash reserves. This is about the under RBI Act. Scheduled banks must maintain a certain level of average daily balance with RBI as cash reserves. This average daily balance is based on average balances held by banks at the close of business of each day of a fortnight. A fortnight is defined as the period from Saturday to second following Friday. This definition has been changed. Hereafter, first day to 15th day of each month, 16th day to the last day of the month. So this is an important point. That is, definition of the period for maintenance of cash reserve has been changed. Next point, tenure of directors of cooperative banks. Banking Regulation Act prohibits the director of a bank, except his chairman or old-term director, to hold office for more than 8 years consecutively. The bill seeks to increase the period to 10 years for cooperative banks. From 8 years, 10 years. Prohibition on common directors in the case of cooperative banks. The Banking Regulation Act prohibits a director on a bank's board to serve on the board of another bank. This does not apply to directors appointed by RBI. The bill extends the exemption to the director of a central cooperative bank. This exemption will apply where he is elected to the board of a state cooperative bank of which he is a member. Next point, substantial interest in a company. Under the Banking Regulation Act, substantial interest in a company refers to holding shares of over 5 lakh rupees or 10% of the paid up capital of the company, whichever is less. This may be held by an individual, his spouse, or minor child, either individually or collectively. The bill amends this to increase the threshold to 2 crore rupees. The central government may alter the amount through a notification. Next is very important one, nomination. The Banking Regulation Act allows a single or joint deposit holders to appoint a nominee for their deposit. Such a nominee can also be appointed for items left in custody of a bank or for a locker hired from a bank. The nominee can access the deposit or articles or locker in case of death of the person who nominated him. The bill allows the appointment of up to 4 nominees for these purposes. For deposits, such nominees can be appointed either successively or simultaneously, while for other purposes they can be appointed successively. In case of simultaneous nominees, the nomination will be effective in a declared proportion. For successive nomination, the nominee who has been named higher in the order of nomination will receive priority. Settlement of unclaimed amounts. The State Bank of India Banking Companies Act, they all provide for transferring unpaid and unclaimed dividend to an unpaid dividend account. If the money in the account remains unpaid or unclaimed for 7 years, it is transferred to the Investor Education Protection Fund, IEPF, Investor Education and Protection Fund. The bill widens the ambit of the funds that can be transferred to IEPF. These includes shares for which a dividend has not been paid or claimed for 7 consecutive years, any interest or redemption of amount for bonds which is unpaid or unclaimed for 7 years, any person whose shares or unclaimed unpaid money is transferred to IEPF can claim the transfer or refund. Last one, remuneration of auditors. At present, remuneration paid to the auditors of banks is fixed by RBI in consultation with the central government. The bill empowers banks to decide the remuneration of the auditors. There are so many good points. The candidates going for administrative officer with NIACL and other candidates going for, say, Exim Bank, then also, say, other bank interviews, please know all these things. Here, I find this definition of cash reserve important, then substantial interest, then this one, remuneration for auditors, then nominees. These are important. People appearing for cooperative bank, please go through these 2 points also. Thank you so much. Best wishes.